Welcome to CSL TV. I just hope you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day now. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, comment down below if you feel like it. The best thing about that is free, as well as we about to get into some content from that guy, that chapter. I guess he got a interesting story to tell us, so we about to go ahead and check my man out. And to the people that's been rocking with me, I appreciate you a lot. Y'all already know what this is. It's a review, a reaction, an informational channel. My bad. So, with that being said, let's get it.
We have shocking surveillance video from New York City, and we have to warn you, it may be hard to watch. It all went down at this smoke shop where a group of several men was gathered around 8 p.m. The man in the tan jacket appears to be in a dispute with the man in a dark FDNY jacket. The man in the dark jacket crosses to the other side of the store with his hand in his pocket. As the man in the tan jacket starts to exit, the other man pulls out a gun and shoots him in the head at point-blank range. The other men present run off, and the shooter shoots the man on the ground one more time before leaving. The 36-year-old victim, who hasn't been identified yet, was transported to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. Cops are still looking for the suspect, and no arrests have been made. While violent crime has been decreasing in NYC this year, data from the Gun Violence Archive shows shootings continue to rise nationwide.
Until what the police kind of randomly found would turn out to be a lot more disturbing than what they had originally thought. Jessica Lynn Heeringa was born in 1987, living in Norton Shores, Michigan, with her boyfriend Dakota Quayle Dyer and her 3-year-old son. 25-year-old Jessica Heeringa was working at the Exxon gas. On April 26th, Jessica started her shift working at the Exxon store at 4:35 p.m. Jessica's friend and another customer who were in the store noticed a silver van pull up, and they saw Jessica talk to the driver of this van. Seemed to be a friendly conversation, laughing, and then the van drove off. A few minutes later that night, the manager of that very store was driving by on her motorbike when she saw a silver van pull off and drive around the back of that gas station. Now, she thought that was weird. She would later say she saw a figure standing at the rear of the van and noticed the van's rear hatch was open. The figure shut the rear hatch and quickly opened it again as though they were adjusting something in the back of the van before finally closing it. It's important to note that the back door couldn't be opened from the outside. It could only be opened from the inside. There was no door handle. The van then drove off. The manager didn't see anything weird, didn't see Jessica, didn't hear any yelling or screaming or anything like that. She would later say it was a man wearing a red or orange sweatshirt who had wavy or crazy hair. Then she drove off, the van drove off, both going their separate ways. And then just a few short minutes later, at 11:10 p.m., a customer arrived in the store and noticed, well, the lights were on, but nobody's home. Jessica was gone. Jessica's purse and jacket were still there. There were no signs of any disturbance. For just a few short minutes, officers found blood, about a 2-inch blob of it. And also nearby, they found the battery cover to a laser sight of a handgun. Nothing was stolen in the station. Nothing was robbed. Police mounted a massive search for Jessica using helicopters and canines, but the trail very soon went cold. Over a year after Jessica was abducted from that gas station, on June 29th, 2014, a 911 call was made.
911, where is your emergency?
We come up to this lady, she's laying in the road. I think she was hit by a car.
Okay.
She's got a head injury.
36-year-old Rebecca Blech was found in the middle of the road. At first, the people who found her thought she had been hit by a car. But when the investigators arrived, it was determined she had been shot in the head while out jogging. This happened 20 minutes from Norton Shores, where Jessica Heeringa disappeared. The case of what happened to Rebecca, it seemed to possibly be maybe a random attack while she was out jogging, and both the Rebecca Blech case and Jessica Heeringa case would remain cold. In April 2016, a 16-year-old girl was walking home from a party. She said that as she was walking home, she got lost and a man in a silver van pulled up to her, asking if she needed a ride. She didn't, but asked if she could use his phone to call for one. She got in the van to use his. When she did, he immediately pulled away. bombed down the road and yanked out a gun. She was able to jump out of the moving van, and he sped off. Straight after, she ran into a nearby house and the police were called. The police got hold of surveillance footage and were able to identify the silver van in this attempted abduction. Wouldn't it just so happen to be a silver Chrysler Town and Country? And later, the teenager was able to pick this, attempted abductor from a lineup. And it was a guy named Jeffrey Willis. Besides attempting to abduct this girl, he was also driving the exact same silver Chrysler Town and Country seen when Jessica disappeared. And so, search warrants were issued. The police searched his home.
Man, I can't believe that was I'm sorry, that's quite disturbing to hear. I kind of wonder if that situation is connected, with the other murders, but y'all already know I don't like to stop it that much because that takes away from the video when you're getting into it.
And also his van, and found some real nasty. Investigators recovered multiple syringes of liquid that appeared to be a drug or sedative, and also handcuffs, Viagra, wire restraints, a ball gag, hubba hubba, and a rope from the van. Not only that, inside the van they found a .22 caliber handgun, and ballistics matched that handgun to the bullets and casings found at the Rebecca Blech crime scene. And that very same handgun that was found in the van and was used to kill Rebecca, didn't it just so happen to be missing the battery cover of the laser sight attached to it? On his home computer they found images of kids, women in bondage, and kidnap and kill videos. Some were acted, some were not. On a hard drive, they found a folder titled VIX. 2 folders inside were labeled 4SB and JLH, Rebecca Sue Blech and Jessica Lynn Heeringa. In those folders were photos of both victims, along with news reports about their cases. In the case of the abducted 16-year-old, Jeffrey Willis was charged with kidnapping and assault with a dangerous weapon. He was also charged with Rebecca Blech's murder. In September 2016, Jeffrey Willis was charged with Jessica's kidnapping and murder.
It is a bittersweet day for the Jessica Heeringa family. Of course, it's a giant step on the road to justice, but they're still left without their daughter, their mother, and their sister, and that's a void that will never be filled. But they do perhaps have the comfort tonight of knowing the man who may have killed her. Jeffrey Willis, a man prosecutors have called a monster.
A month after Jeffrey Willis was arrested, his cousin was also arrested. Kevin Bloom, a prison guard with the Michigan Department of Corrections. Kevin Bloom could not keep his mouth shut, and he probably hated himself for it because he kept changing his story. He told the police that Jeffrey Willis, his cousin, killed Jessica, and that Kevin himself helped get rid of the body.
The lead investigator in the Jessica Heeringa case appeared before a judge here at the Muskegon Hall of Justice. He told that judge that Kevin Bloom told him that he and Jeff Willis were both involved in the Jessica Heeringa disappearance, but he quickly recanted that story. Now officials tell us they don't know what to believe.
However, he had told police, and he would actually later tell police things about the Rebecca Blech case also, that were not publicly, public knowledge. There's no way he would know these things if he wasn't involved. The police charged him on 2 counts of lying to police, upon which Kevin Bloom finally came clean. Kevin pled guilty on both counts. He was sentenced to time served until another charge against him was added, accessory after fact. After all, he did tell the police he helped bury Jessica's body. Kevin told the police that the day after Jessica went missing, the 27th of April 2013, Jeffrey, his cousin, had called him over and said, "Hey buddy, I got a woman and we're having a party. You're invited." When Kevin arrived, he saw Jessica naked on the floor with a head wound. He told the police that Jeffrey had knocked Jessica unconscious and loaded her into his van, and then brought her home. Kevin and Jeffrey then wrapped her in a sheet and buried her. On November 27, 2017, Kevin Bloom pled no contest to being an accessory after the fact for helping Jeffrey dispose of Jessica's body, and was sentenced to time served plus 5 years probation, and to wear a GPS for at least a year. So Kevin Bloom is already out and about. Good for him. But at this point, Jeffrey Willis was still not convicted of Jessica Heeringa's murder, but he was of Rebecca Blech's. Life, no parole. Sleep well.
Well, he definitely got what he deserved for the simple fact hey, everything that these sick individuals was doing came back, and for him to talk about it the way they was, to brag, all that type of stuff, as well as and for him, you know what I'm saying, even having this stuff on a hard drive, his brother, his uncle, whoever the hell these guys are, justice was served. I do think the other guy who, you know what I'm saying, was talking about it, bragging about it, or whatever, he should have got a little bit more than that. Just for the simple fact, this is something that's terrible. I mean, innocent lives got killed. You know what I'm saying?